Hey folks, welcome to the Clear Creek Cabin. So you probably saw in one of our most recent videos that we just finished up the new addition to the barn. We built a 12 by 32 addition to the barn to house the little John Deere in here. It's going to be a tight space with all that we want to put in there. We have to put the donkey trailer in there, got to put the John Deere with the backhoe, the box blade, our other little X350 John Deere tractor, a cart, and then a wood splitter, a Champion wood splitter we just bought to try to get some more wood for the winter. So we've got quite a bit to do to be able to fit this in here. So what I thought I'd do is I'd build a little dolly for the box blade. Because this is a concrete floor, we'd be able to set the box blade on the dolly, move it around in there as I needed to, so that it wouldn't create, a problem getting around and moving things around in there. So come on along today. We're going to build the box blade dolly. You may have seen in some of my earlier videos that I had built a backhoe dolly, and then I went out and bought the BX expanded backhoe dolly and abandoned the wooden dolly because the BX expanded dolly works so well. So now what I'm going to do is use the two little dollies that I bought from Harbor Freight. I'm going to harvest the wheels off of those, use those to build this dolly. So come on along, we should have a bit of fun. Should be a short video, shouldn't take me long to do this today. Measure twice, cut once. So now what we're going to do is going to create dados in each of these boards. I don't have a dado blade, so it's going to be a little bit of work, a little bit of time to do it. But basically what we're going to do is by doing a lap joint or a dado, what we're going to do is we're going to carve out, the boards are 2 inches thick, so what we're going to do is we're going to carve out 1 inch on each side so that they'll overlap completely and the top and the bottom will still be smooth. So 2 inches, take out 1 inch on the top one, take out 1 inch on the bottom one, put them together, they'll fold over like this, and the full distance will end up being 2 inches across. So we'll set this blade up to cut in at just 1 inch. The highest point. You don't have to be too exact, seeing so we're not building cabinetry here, but just about 1 inch should be just about right, and that should do it. And then what we'll do is we have to measure over the 4 inches of the board to the outside of the blade. Like such. And then what we do is go back and forth 1,000,000 times. Like this, until we cut out the full 4 inches, 1 inch down. Okay, so right in the middle of my project, we lost power. No power to the entire neighborhood, I guess. I don't see any power at the meter. So much for finishing sawing up the dados that I have here. So what I'm going to do is switch gears and come over here and start to take the wheels off this little dolly. This was the one of the little dollies I had bought from Harbor Freight. It's got pretty good little casters on it. Should be plenty enough to hold the weight of the box blade. I think the box blade is, I don't remember. I'll have to look it up. I think it might have been 500 or 600 pounds, something like that. So this should do plenty. These things were rated for 1,000 pounds, each one of these dollies, so shouldn't be an issue. What we're going to do is take all these off. I have a bunch of stock of some other bolts that I can use. You may or may not have known that we owned a hardware store for almost 10 years in North Carolina. And I always stocked up with whatever I needed, so I've got a lot of these bins all filled with nuts and bolts that I would just collect. I'd order them in whenever we got an order in, just so I could have my own stock. So I'm going to take all these wheels off, get those ready to be able to bolt on. As you saw, I stopped right here, and that's as far as I got on that one. But, we got these all done over here, so this should work out real well. This dado will fit right on here like this, and then the next one will fit right over here. So I just have 2 more cuts on that last little board, and we'll be ready to put it together. I love when a plan comes together. So what we do is just put them back together, throw a square on it, try to get it as square as you can. Okay, that looks pretty good. And then what we should be able to do is just mount these right on here. I'm going to just kind of eye them, because I mean, this really doesn't need to be absolutely perfect. What I do with my pencil, there it is. So what we can do is just and I already got the drill the size of the bolts. That's it. That's all she wrote. We'll take it over and set it up and see if we can get it to work. Okay, so hopefully this will work well. What I planned with this was that it should come right up underneath this last little blade here and the front blade over here. There's exactly like 4 inches in between those 2 blades. So this should set right up in here in between those 2 blades pretty easily. I'm going to just drop it down just a hair, try to get it lined up as best as we can.
And I made it long enough so it splits the 2x4 in half. So this should set right in the middle of the 2x4, right in between the bolts. And we'll see how it goes. Just let it down just a little bit. It's got to go in just a little bit more, I think. That. Okay. Let's try that, see how that works. Okay. So that's moved it out pretty well. Now what we need to do is just level it out. So it sits right on the dolly. Okay, and that released all the pressure on the pins. So as you guys know, some of the problem when you're dropping the box blade and you're picking up the box blade is that you got to wrangle back and forth. Unless you get backed in exactly the way you need to hook it up, you got to wrangle back and forth in order to be able to get your 3-point lift on. So let's see how easy this is to take apart now. Should be pretty easy, I would hope. I don't know, maybe not. Get them unhooked. See if it's any easier now. We'll find out. We're about to find out. Okay. Let's see. I'll set this over here for now. Let's see if it's any easier to unhook. Oh yeah, look at that. Like nothing. Now I should be able to just kind of push the other one out of the way. Pull this one right off. Oh yeah, look at that. Like nothing. So this should be able to move around pretty easily. I mean, it's not going to be perfect, but it'll certainly do what I need it to do. So what we'll do is push it back over in the corner where it's going to be. Like a glove. Okay, let's see how it looks over in here. Fits in here perfectly. Just exactly as planned. A little tight, but again, I won't be using the donkey trailer all that much and the box blade that much either, so it fits perfectly to sit right in there the way that it is, and it should be really easy to put back on again. So, real pleased, works out well. Probably could have been a little bit better with you had a better caster, spent some more money on the casters, but again, I already had the dolly, very cheap. This was a little budget dolly to be able to get the box blade out of the way and be able to put it off and on the tractor a lot easier because it's on a dolly. You can jockey it around, hook up your 3 points, and you're done. You probably noticed that I put the tines in upside down. I do that when I store it, and it also works out pretty well when you're going to be doing just light work on the driveway. If you don't want to dig in really heavy into the driveway, you can just use the back blade on the box blade in order to be able to do what you need to do. I think this is going to work out really, really good the way that this is set up. It certainly is a lot easier. Should be able to slide that baby right in there. Let's hope. See how it goes. Might not even need to start the tractor to do it. Let's see. Oh yeah. Put it on one side over here like this. Have it down here. It's just about right. Oh yeah, look at that, right in. Right in, no problem. I'll be able to pull this one right in with no problem. Sure. Let's clip that up the side. Go. Oh yeah, look at how nice and easy that is. Unbelievable how easy that is. That is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Easy breezy. That's it. You can just adjust it up a little bit, tighten it up a little bit, and lift it off. Okay, and what I did is I drilled a hole in one end of the dolly over here so I can hang it up over in the corner. Okay, to hang this, what I did is I got an anchor bolt, which if you don't know what that is, it has the threads for wood on one side and a thread for nut on the other. And what I did is I mounted it for where the hole is for the dolly, and now I'm just cranking it in. We want to get it in just about the right distance. Little over 2 inches. That's the thickness of the wood. That's 2 and 3. Don't need quite that much. 2 1/2. One more little spin. Okay. Now, what that will allow us to do is put the dolly up on here, like this. Big old flat washer. And I've got to get a wing nut, but for now I've just got a nut. Thread that on there. And then that's not going to fall off. It won't go anywhere. I don't want it to fall off and land over here on the trailer. So that'll do it real well. Hang up out of the way, and then real easy to take it down. Just take off the wing nut, set the nut and bolt down. You're all set high enough so I don't hit my little head. So you taller guys would have to put it a little higher. But that'll work.
Okay, folks, so that's another wrap. Quick short little video on building the box blade dolly for the BB2048 box blade for the John Deere 1025R. Worked out real well, done on the cheap. Again, already had the lumber, so 2x4s, 50 some odd inches long, 20 some odd inches long. I've got the dimensions that I showed you in the video. Cheap little casters on the bottom, just enough to roll it out of the way. Fits snugly in back here, just the way we had planned. As you saw before in our previous video, we had a plan all set up here as to what we were going to do. The next thing I need to do is assemble the wood splitter, the Champion 27-ton wood splitter that we bought. I'm going to assemble that. I'm going to put that over there. So we'll show you that video as well. So thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it as always. Give us a thumbs up. and subscribe to the channel. Come back and see us. And God bless you until the next time we see you, folks. Thanks for your patronage. Tell your friends about us, too. Thanks.